Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? Let's talk some hot takes. And what is going on, baseball fans? Hello. Hope you like the new intro for the hot takes. Hope that it got everyone in the mood. How's everyone doing? How are we doing? We got a lot of familiar faces in here. What's going on, everyone? We got Jacob. We got Kaylee. What's going on? Big Wheeze, Nick, Ben, Akina, Carson, Jacob, Aiden, Owen. Who else we got in here? What else we got here? We got Grizz. What's going on? We got Johan. What's going on? Aiden, my friend. How you doing? Nicholas. Hello. Jason. What's going on? How are we doing? John. How's it going, my friend? Jason. What's going on? Who else we got? I think that's it for now. Hopefully some more people trickle on in. Hey, I don't know what's been going on. Our views have been a little down lately, which, I mean, not surprised. This happened last year. I remember, going into the season last year, I was thinking, all right, cool, we're going to be, getting a lot of people into the streams, and it actually turned out to be kind of a dead period at that time. The month of April, after opening day, it gets a little dead, honestly. That's what I noticed last year, and kind of once we got into May a little bit, once the rumors started picking up, that's when more people were coming on in. But either way, I digress. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all having a good week. Hope you're all having a good day today. Hope you're all ready for some hot takes. You guys really turned out for the hot takes this week. I think we had about 100 people turn in a hot take. It was kind of hard to pick from the batch of hot takes this week, but we got 10 of them. Yeah, Kaylee, I agree. You're saying you're in a weird spot with people watching baseball. Yeah, people are out there watching, and they're just enjoying, just sitting down and watching a game. So, not surprised, but it will pick up. But if you can, to help us out, hey, hit that like button, everyone. That's going to help get it out there into the YouTube world. The YouTubes, they like the like button. Hit that bell notification as well. I had a couple of people in the chat telling me that they weren't getting notifications. So, hey, everyone, if you can, hit that notification bell. Also, hey, share the stream if you can. Let's try and get to 100 people tonight. That's the goal. Hey, if anyone's in here new, think about hitting that subscribe button. Also, everyone, we have a couple of new partnerships. We just partnered up with SeatGeek. So if you're thinking about going to a game at all sometime, hey, use my code Hyde. You get $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek. I've used SeatGeek before. I've ended up finding a couple of pretty good deals. So go take a chance on it. And if you do, go use my code, get 20 bucks off. Also, if you're looking into maybe making a little extra cash, go on to Prize Picks. Use my code Ginger. If you deposit anything, they will match it the first time. So if you deposit 20 bucks, they will give you $20 with my code Ginger. It's a little different from FanDuel and DraftKings, where you're doing over-unders and you're playing against the system rather than against other people. So let's get onto it, everyone. Let's get onto it. Again, hope everyone's having a good week. But let's get started with the hot takes here. In the thumbnail, in the picture, we had Chris Bryan on there. We had Seiya Suzuki. We had Matt Brash. We're going to start with all three of those guys. But let's first start off with the Colorado Rockies. Big brain baseball. The Rockies make the postseason as a wild card team, and Chris Bryant wins the MVP. I'm going to be honest with you. I've kind of mentioned this a couple of times. Let's get to it over here. Alrighty, so, well, what the heck is going on right there? That did not refresh. Here we go. So, the Rockies, they're off to a pretty good start, man. Off to a pretty good start. Did they play today? I don't think they played today. But, hey, they're right. I mean, I know it's early. I know. You can't really judge anything right now. We're, what, 5-6 games in? But the Rockies are looking pretty good. If we take a look at the Rockies, hey, they've won 4 straight games. They lost their first game, and they've won 4 straight since. Hey, they got a 9-run differential. I mean, they're doing pretty good. They're doing all right, you know? Can't really, take anything away from them at this point. But yeah, it is still very early. You can't really, you can't judge a team right now. It's just super early. I'm even considering, I don't know if I should even do the power rankings this Sunday. I probably will just for fun. I don't know. It depends though, because it's Easter. I am going out of town. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do the power rankings. I might hold off a week for the power rankings just because, I mean, I don't know, like, it's just so early. By that point, we're going to have, what, like 8 games? 9 games? So I don't even know if the power rankings would even be worth it to do this week. But I don't know. If I get home in time and I can, sit down and get ready for it, I'll do it. But if I do end up missing, this Sunday, then that's not the worst thing in the world. It's just so early. But for the Rockies, man, hey, you all know, for those of you that have been around, you've been listening to my doofus self sitting here at my desk talking about the Rockies. I like the Rockies team this year. I've been saying it forever. The Rockies have been getting a ton of flack, and I'm just saying, I feel like I'm the only one that's sitting and looking at this team, and I'm thinking, I don't know what everyone else is seeing, but I see a pretty decent team here. I see a good lineup. Kris Bryant offers a lot of versatility. Kris Bryant, when you can play that many different positions, it is huge for a team, man. It really is. And they got a couple of young guys on here. Connor Joe, to me, is a breakout candidate. Randall Grichuk, to me, that was an awesome trade for the Rockies. I really think that was just such a good move for them. Raimel Tapia, he wasn't really bringing anything to the table. He was, bringing a little something, but he wasn't really the bat that they needed. Grichuk, on the other hand, that's a power bat, and he plays great defense. Did you guys see that catch he made the other night? Are you kidding me? But I like this Rockies lineup. I've been saying that. I like Brendan Rodgers. I like C.J. Cron, Charlie Blackmon, playing in the outfield, doing some DH. I like that. I mean, they got a couple of guys down in the minors, too, that could end up helping out. Now, the only problem is the starting pitching. I do wonder about this starting pitching, but to me, if they can just do enough, listen, you don't need a star-studded starting rotation to win. You don't need Jacob deGrom. You don't need Max Scherzer. Look at what the Red Sox did last year. Sorry to be, going giraffe neck Robbie right now, but you don't need this amazingly good starting rotation. Look at the Red Sox in the first half last year. They were sending out, just Garrett Richards, who was giving you 4 or 5 innings. As long as you got a pretty decent bullpen, you can make a starting rotation. You can make any starting rotation work as long as those guys can make their turns and they can give you innings. And actually, if we take a look at the current leaderboards, when it comes to starting pitching, the Rockies, they are currently 10th. So they're getting some decent starting pitching. They got a 3.18 FIP so far. Not too bad. And if you take a look at the bullpen, the Rockies have the second best bullpen as of right now. Their bullpen has been phenomenal. So, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I've been saying this for this entire offseason. If they can get enough pitching, that lineup is very good. They have great defense. If they can just get enough pitching, I think they're going to be pretty good. And I feel like I was the only one that's been saying it. I've been saying it for a while now, but everyone, people in the chat were just saying, man, Robbie, what the heck are you talking about? I don't know. I kind of just like this Rockies team. But I do like the hot take. As for Kris Bryant, let's go take a look at Kris Bryant. He's off to a pretty nice start. As of right now, I mean, we're still early, 5 games in, hitting 350, a 139 WRC plus. But hey, Kris Bryant, that bat in Coors Field, man, it's going to play for a half season. You got to like that, I really like this for the Rockies, having Kris Bryant there. He can move around a ton. He's played mostly left field at this point. But will Kris Bryant win the MVP? I don't know. There's a lot of competition in that National League. I think Maybe the Coors effect can help him out a little bit in terms of numbers, but I feel like in the end he will fall short of an MVP. I just don't think he's at that level. Who knows? Maybe he could, but I'd probably lean more towards no. I definitely think the Rockies could get a playoff spot. I really do. I think they could be a team that is very well in contention. But then again, I could also see a team that really falls off. You know, I mean, they're off to a nice start here, but can they keep it up? We'll have to wait and see. Let's move on. Let's move on to our next hot take here. Speaking of MVPs, I kind of like this one here. Seiya Suzuki from Daniel Strickler. Seiya Suzuki doesn't just win NL Rookie of the Year, but he wins MVP. Man, oh man. Let's go look up Seiya Suzuki. Hit a couple of homers yesterday. You gotta love that. But Seiya Suzuki, let's pull up the numbers, huh? Taking a look here, he's off to a great start. Hitting .417, a .529 on base percentage, slugging over 1,100. I mean, this guy's off to a great start so far. It's only 4 games. It's 17 plate appearances. I do think right now there's just not a lot of scouting on him. And I think teams will adjust to him eventually. I don't think he's going to keep up this pace. Listen, these scouting departments, man, you know, these teams with their analytics, they can really catch on to a player pretty quick. So I do think pitchers will adjust to him. They're just trying to feel this guy out. And he's off to just an incredible start right now. I do think he could absolutely hit at least 25 home runs, 30 home runs, you know, drive in 90, 100 RBIs. I definitely think he's in that territory. I think he has a real shot at Rookie of the Year. He's kind of one of those rookies where, you know, he's an old rookie. He's coming from he's coming from Japan. He's not, you know, one of these guys coming up from the minor leagues. So he has a bit of an advantage there where he has played against just much better competition at this point. So I think there is a real chance he wins Rookie of the Year. MVP, now I think the Cubs would have to be in playoff contention, which I think they could be. I mean, I think they got a fun team. I've been mentioning that. So who knows? Who knows with the Cubs? And as of right now, the Cubs, hey, 3-2. You know, doing all right so far. Not too bad. So I definitely think Suzuki can win Rookie of the Year. I don't know about MVP. I got to see how this guy continues on throughout the season. I'm waiting for these pitchers to adjust to him. And so I don't think he will be MVP, but I definitely could see Rookie of the Year. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk. Speaking of Rookie of the Year, how about Matt Brash? How about that start he had yesterday, huh? Matt Brash from Jack Cardellano. Matt Brash wins Rookie of the Year and finishes top 10 in Cy Young voting. Matt Brash, man, he looked pretty darn good yesterday, and no one was talking about him. We were looking at the highlight videos on MLB.com. They had a highlighted video of Vince Velasquez. I mean, no offense to Vince Velasquez. I'm sure you're a wonderful person, but how did that game, like when you go to game day, right? Like, let me show you what I'm talking about. Maybe they added it later on. I don't know. But let me actually pull up the post-game stuff. So it was right here. I mean, again, I know the Mariners lost, but let's see if they added a Matt Brash video. Because there wasn't one yesterday when we went to look. There it is. Okay, this was not here yesterday. But Matt Brash, he did look pretty good. I'm going to kind of skip through this a little bit because MLB.com, they are notorious for slapping some copyright claims on you. So here we go, Matt Brash. Oh, I mean, come on. Look at that slider, you know? Come on. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous. He threw another one right here. Oh, it's not even fair. That's not funny, man. That's not even funny. I mean, that's just ridiculous, man. The only thing I'm worrying about with Matt Brash, he's got a bit of an aggressive delivery. I wonder about the arm health a little bit. just a smidge. You know, he's got a bit of like a 3/4. It looked like a 3/4 slot. He's got an aggressive delivery. There's a lot of aggression in that arm. I wonder about the arm health a little bit. I mean, he's putting so much torque on those sliders, man. It is just nuts. But I mean, he's looking fantastic so far. Let's take a look at one more. I mean, good grief. That is just, it's nasty. I've never seen a slider like that. Like, that is just stupid. That's like, you know, MLB. That's like MLB The Show MVP baseball kind of movement, man. That is just stupid. But honestly, I think if Matt Brash, if he stays healthy for this year, I mean, with that kind of a slider, like, you don't see sliders like that. That was nuts. Let me actually see. Did they update his stuff here on Baseball Savant? We got around 50 people in the chat. Everyone, if you can, hit that like button for me. Hit that like button. We got 29 likes, around 50 people. If you can, hit that for me, please. Yeah, he was getting a lot of guys chasing yesterday. Yeah, he was giving up some hard hit balls, though. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But let's see what the movement. Do they have the movement? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Vertical movement, man. 7.3 inches of vertical movement compared to the average, and 11.7 inches of movement on his slider horizontally compared to the average. Like, are you kidding me? That is just nuts, man. That is nuts. But yeah, I absolutely think Matt Brash can win Rookie of the Year. If he stays healthy, I think he has all the potential in the world. I saw something earlier from Ratchet. Robbie, talk about Kershaw being pulled from the perfect game. Hey, this is a bit of a hot take in itself. This happened today. Oh, Super Chat coming in. Ben Lowry, Seiya Suzuki is just a hyped up Kosuke Fukudome. I think there's a little bit of a difference. There's a difference here with him, man. This Seiya Suzuki, you can just tell he's just got, man, the bat speed with him is nuts. He has just such quick hands. He's got a really simple swing. I think Seiya Suzuki, he is built to last. He reminds me of Hideki Matsui, just a simple swing, quick hands. I think Seiya Suzuki is for real, and I think he's going to be here to stay. But yeah, Kershaw. Do I think this was the right move? Absolutely, I think this is the right move. I'm seeing people flipping out about this on Twitter. You know, Jeff Passan, everyone just going with their emotions on everything. This guy has been hurt like every single year. Every year this guy is hurt. Like, I mean, this guy didn't even pitch in the postseason last year. I understand. Perfect game. Doesn't happen very often. The guy was twirling a gem. 13 strikeouts. I understand he's at 80 pitches. You can't look at 80 pitches right now the same way as you would maybe compared to last year. Spring training was a little rushed. It's not the same thing. I don't understand what is the debate behind this. I'm sorry. If anyone disagrees with me, I mean, I don't see the debate. I really don't. I really don't. You had a short spring training. Everyone, do you see how many shoulder injuries are happening this season? Do you see how many guys are having bum shoulders? Anyone? Does anyone see it? Anyone at all? You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't see what the problem was. We've been seeing this the last couple of years. I'm not reacting to this emotionally. I'm really not. Yeah, you'd love for him to go get the perfect game. But to me, hey, the Dodgers are in to win a championship. And Clayton Kershaw said himself. He said himself it was the right move. There's nothing else to say. There's no more argument. So, let's move on here. Let's move on. Hey, speaking of Cy Young, you know, hey, Clayton Kershaw, he's won a couple of those. Maybe Kershaw, maybe because he ended up, you know, hey, maybe coming out a little early, maybe he could end up maybe pitching a little longer this season. Maybe he could have a chance at a Cy Young this season. We'll have to wait and see. But I am seeing a super chat coming in. Nicholas, I agree. It's way too early in the season. You had a short spring training. I don't see the argument. Nick, JM 1231. I'm seeing your super chat before I transition to the next one. Can we take a sec and gush about Brash? I mean, I literally was just gushing about him. That was our last hot take. In case you missed it, I'm not sure if you just came in, but that was our third hot take of the night. Matt Brash wins Rookie of the Year and finishes top 10 in the Cy Young voting. So Matt Brash, absolutely. I definitely think he could be Rookie of the Year this year. He just has to stay healthy. So, but yeah, Ratchet, I see your point. But at the end of the day, you know, hey, it's a team. Cy Young Awards. At the end of the day, Kershaw, you know, sure, he would love to have a Cy Young Award, but I think he would rather have a World Series championship, to be completely honest. So, but here we go. Let's move on. Oh, we got another super chat coming in. Max Potter. Brash's movement reminds me of Tim Lincecum's awkward back torque thing that he did. Just an observation. I agree. I'm just saying, man. You know, I see what you're saying. I see, like, Lincecum had some stupid movement on his pitches. Lincecum, he reminded me of Pedro Martinez a lot. Maybe not as wackadoodle of a delivery. Pedro was a little more simple with his delivery. But the movement that Lincecum would get, the life on his fastball, he reminded me a lot of Pedro Martinez. That's why I loved watching Tim Lincecum. Also, the delivery was just so fun. Man, he put so much into that, and he got some nasty movement on those pitches. He had such an amazing changeup. Really liked Tim Lincecum, but I see the comparison. You know, he's got that aggressive sort of windup, you know, and just tons of movement. So, Max Potter, JM1231, thank you so much. And Grizz, I agree. Kershaw wants a championship. He has nothing left to prove. I mean, really, what else does he have left to prove? You know, I'm just saying, man. I think he even thought, nah, man, we got to stick with the program. Stick with the program. You got to remember, these guys, I'll say it one more time, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. They had a short spring training. He hasn't even been worked up to 80 pitches prior to today. So there's no way, like, you can't push the limit like that so early in the season. You're seeing so many arm injuries going on right now, and I think Kershaw absolutely made the right move, and that's just my opinion. But moving on, speaking of Cy Young, this is a bit of an interesting one, and this is a guy who had a pretty good first start the other night. Nestor Cortez from Jaron Pavic. Nestor Cortez finishes top 10 in AL Cy Young voting. Very interesting. I like this. It's, you know, it's out of the box. Nestor Cortez, man. You know, Josh, if you all came in on Monday night, you all got to meet Josh for the first time. Big Yankee fan. And he's a big fan of Nestor Cortez. And, I mean, taking a look here. I mean, he's already off to a pretty good start when it comes to the advanced numbers. Lots of reds so far. I mean, again, it's only one start. He only went into the 5th inning. But if we take a look at last year's numbers. So going to 2021, he had great life on the fastball. He had vertical movement on the fastball. He had a good cutter last year. His slider was pretty good last year. So he's got the movement. So, oh, Jeremy, did I say your name right? All right. Okay, that's what I like to see. I'm usually really bad with names. So, where was I? Yeah, Nestor Cortez. He had some pretty nice stuff last year. And if we take a look here, he had a really good run value on his 4-seamer last year, so that's nice to see. Now, if we take a look at, where do we have the other numbers? Here we go. So 2021, yeah, he ranked really well when it came to xWOBA, x-batting average, x-slugging. Man, X on base percentage was really high. He ranked really well in K percentage. He ranked well in walk percentage. You know, he didn't get a lot of swing and misses, but that's okay. He was around middle of the pack when it came to barrels. Exit velocity around middle of the pack. Hard hit percentage, though, he ranked well. So, Nestor Cortez, man, I think he's one of those guys that could be kind of under the radar for the whole year. And then when you look at him at the end of the year, you'll think, oh, wow. Oh, Nestor Cortez. He actually did pretty good. Let's go take a look at his numbers from last year. He had some good numbers last year. We were looking at the Baseball Savant numbers, but let's take a look at, the surface numbers here. Where Nestor Cortez. I like Nestor Cortez way more than Jameson Taillon. So, but yeah, last year, look at these numbers that he had. He had 14 starts, 22 games overall. He had an ERA of 2.9, FIP of 3.8. His xFIP was fine at 4.18, about 10 strikeouts per 9, about 2.5 walks. Man, and Nestor Cortez was really solid. He was really solid last year. I think by the end of the year, you could see this guy about 30 starts, maybe around 150, 160, innings roughly, maybe 170, ERA in the 3s. I don't know if he'll get top 10, but I could see, maybe. I don't think he'll win. I don't think he'll win a Cy Young. Maybe he could crack the top 10, possibly. But I don't know. What was his? He had a 1.7 WAR last year. So if he pitched let's say he got, I don't know. Let's just double this. So he had 93 innings last year. Let's say he got to the 180s and he put up the same kind of numbers. He would have been on track for a wins above replacement around 4. So that would have been, a 3.4, about 3.5. So let's go to the leaderboards from last year. So where would a 3.5 rank in the American League? I mean, it would have been there. It would have been there. If Nestor Cortez, if he had those same numbers for the whole year, he would have finished in the top 10 last year in the American League. So, interesting. Hey, why not? Let's go for it. I think he could get top 10. So I said that before I even looked at these. And now that I'm seeing if he did what he did last year over a full season, I definitely think he could do it. Ben Lowry, what would a package for Juan Soto look like? What in the heck? All right, moving on from Nestor Cortez. We got a hot take right here. Hey, everyone, if you got a hot take that you want to throw onto the show, hey, super chats are open. I'm just saying, I'll look at the chat as much as I can. I saw the Clayton Kershaw comment from earlier, so I'll do my best to look at the chat. You guys know me, my potato brain. I'm usually just looking at my screen. But if you want to make sure I see a comment or anything like that, super chats, I won't miss them. But taking a look here, what the heck would it take to get Juan Soto? I mean, well, let's go to the Nationals first. Did John on Baseball Trade Values actually open up Juan Soto? No, you can't do it. I can't even do it. $225 million. I mean, I'm just saying. Michael, how you doing, my friend? How you doing? So, Nicholas, is anyone else glitching out or is it me? Maybe try clicking out and go back in. So, but yeah, Juan Soto, it's Ben. It's gonna take a lot. If you were to look at the White Sox, so $225 million. You would need a player like Luis Robert. Like that kind of a player. Maybe like a Ronald Acuna. I don't know, like Ronald Acuna. Well, actually, no, Ronald Acuna is actually worth more than Juan Soto. That sounds crazy. It's because Ronald Acuna Jr., here's the reason why Acuna has a higher value than Juan Soto. I know that might sound crazy, but the reason Acuna has a higher value is because he is extremely cheap and he's locked up for a lot longer. So, and you're going to get all of his prime years. So Juan Soto is going to be a free agent much sooner than Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronald Acuna, I believe, has the highest value on here. So, but I don't know. If you were to go to a team like the White Sox, now, if you did a package of Robert, Moncada, and Giolito, actually, that would be too much. Take out Giolito. We can throw in Kopech. There you go. That's what it will take to get Juan Soto, Luis Robert, Moncada, and Kopech. White Sox fans, would you do this? If you had the chance to get Juan Soto and then lock him up to an extension, would you do this? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's getting someone like Juan Soto, who's the modern day Ted Williams, and you'd have to give up these 3 guys. I need to know. Are there any White Sox fans in here? Any White Sox fans? I gotta know if you would do this. I mean, I know it might sound crazy, but when you think about it, Juan Soto, what, 23, 24 years old. Gareth Miller says, as a White Sox fan, yes, I would be happy with this. I mean, you're giving up 3 really good players. But yeah, the Reds. Oh, did you mean the Red Sox? Ben Lowry. Let me see what would. I don't think the Red Sox could pull it off. What the heck would the Red Sox have to give up? I don't think they would be able to do it. I mean, you'd have to start with Devers. I mean, supposedly, these contract talks with Devers and the Red Sox, they are very far apart. Very far apart. So, I don't know, man. We're going to have to think of something here. But you'd have to do Devers, Mayer, Cassis, Houck. I don't know. Throw in Verdugo while you're at it. Give him an outfielder that can play now. That's what it would take for the Red Sox to get someone like Juan Soto. Papa joke, man. Hope your day is going well. So, the Red Sox. Akina, $1.99. Waka has a bounce-back year for the Sox. Yeah, you know, Akina, I don't think he's going to be amazing this year. I think Hyde Bloom, if you look at what they did with Garrett Richards last year in the first half, they made it work. If you looked at what they did with Martin Perez in the first half, they made it work. Hyde Bloom, actually, with the Rays, he created his own developmental system for pitchers, and he has a good idea of how to manage pitchers. Hyde Bloom, man, is very underrated when it comes to stuff like that, and I'm telling you, I think Michael Wacha ends up being a good guy for us, honestly. Maybe we'll have to see how he does in the second half. A lot of those guys that did well in the first half last year kind of digressed in the second half. So we'll have to see. But I do like Wacha. I don't think that was a horrible move. So, but yeah, if you want Juan Soto for the Red Sox, this is what it's going to have to take. So, as a Red Sox fan, would I do this? No, I would not. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't give up Mayer. I don't know, man. I think there's a lot to like with him. How it could be a future stud. I mean, Cass. No, I wouldn't do this. I would not do it. Now, that White Sox one, I would do it. But, alrighty, let's move on here. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you. So, let's move on here. All right, we've gotten through the first 4. We're at number 5. Let's stay in the American League East. We just talked about Nestor Cortez. Let's talk about our next guy. Next hot take. Alek Manoa is the best pitcher in the American League East. Very interesting. Let's actually pull up here. So, here's what I want to do. I want to go from... When did Alek Manoa get called up last year? Let me see the exact date. May 27th. So, let's take a look. All right, so... May 27th to right now. So, is Alek Manoa on here? No. Let's go a minimum of 50 innings. So, Alek Manoa, if you take a look numbers-wise, so again, the hot take, in case you missed it, was Alek Manoa is the best pitcher in the American League East. Now, if you go back to the numbers from last year, so as you can see, in the American League, Nathan Eovaldi, he's had, since Alek Manoa came up, Evaldi is number 2 on Fangraph WAR. Garrett Cole is number 14. McClanahan was actually number 16. Oh, Jordan Montgomery was number 15. And Alek Manoa, but Alek Manoa was not too far behind. So I would not say he is the best right now, but he's there. He's behind some guys. I don't think he's better than Evaldi or Garrett Cole right now. Garrett Cole, actually, what was going on with him tonight? That's a 3-3 game. That's a pretty good series here with the Blue Jays and the Yankees. So, how did Cole do? He went to the 6. I mean, it's a good Blue Jays lineup, you know. So, you give up a couple of home runs. Cole is not off to a great start. So, Manoa, though, Manoa did look pretty good the other day. I will say that. That was on the 11th, right? He threw a shutout. Well, he didn't go the whole game, but he didn't give up any runs. So, Alek Manoa. I mean, he went 6 innings. I mean, he walked 4. But according to the numbers right now, he is not the best pitcher in the American League East. But he's not very far behind. Let's see actually how are they doing right now? I think was that his first start? So, look at Bieber. Bieber leading the charge. Well, he's had 2 starts already, so I guess you can't really count that. But yeah, you can't really see much. I mean, Manoa right now, he's tied for 3rd place in WAR, 0.2. But, I mean, his first start looked great. A 2.72 FIP, 3.90. I want to actually look at the xFIP. That judges, it's like basically your ERA with basically just fly balls. So, as of right now, he's 26 as of right now. Again, it's such a small sample size. You can't really do anything with these numbers right now. So, I don't know. But right now, I would sell on that. I don't think he's the best guy. I mean, let's see what he's like at the All-Star break. Let's see what he's like. I know Cole is kind of floundering a little bit. You know, Evaldi looked all right. You know, Manoa, I think, out of the American League East, I think he's had the best start. So, I mean, if you take a look here, Nestor Cortez, he looked really good. Where was Manoa on here? Manoa was 17th. So yeah, Cortez, the good thing about Nestor Cortez and his start, he didn't go as long, but he didn't walk anyone, and he didn't give up any home runs. Now, with Manoa, on the other hand, he walked 4 guys. So he has to clean up the walks a little bit. So, Super Chat coming in. Ben Lowry. Keep hearing rumors Sale could be shopped. You know, it's interesting, man. It's interesting with Chris Sale. You know, I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. I have no idea what they think about it. It's a guy, obviously, when he's healthy, he's good, you know, but he has really just had a lot of health issues in the last few years, you know. It just really depends on how he does, you know. That's going to be really hard to get rid of him because he's owed a lot of money. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to be, if you're going to be able to get rid of him. I mean, if you look at baseball trade values, Sale, he has a negative 9.5 value as of right now. So who knows what that is at the end of the season. I'm sure that could go up a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I mean, yeah, he did help out down the stretch last year, but they really did their best work without him. You know, they were very good in the first half without him. So we're going to have to wait and see. But let's move on to the next one. Let's talk about Alek Manoa's teammate, George Springer. when on the field, Springer is a top 15 player. Let's go take a look at that, shall we? Now, if we are looking at... Hold on one second. Now, again, you know me. I like looking at wins above replacement. It's just a nice, quick, easy way to just kind of see. But taking a look at George Springer. As of right now, Springer's WAR since... No, I want to go here. And then... Fangraphs, you're killing me right now. I believe Springer still did rank really well. So, was this in the American League? Okay, so you're just saying top 15 player. So, just in the major leagues. Well, if we look, where was he? I think he still did rank pretty well. Even though he didn't play that much. What was he at? He had at least 3 wins. Or something, I think. Where was he? Springer, where are you? Or was he at 2.5? Here we go, George Springer. So he was at a 2.4 wins above replacement last year. He played in 78 games. So if he doubles that, that's a full season. So he's at around a 5. He's at a 4.8 WAR. So where would a 4.8 have ranked? He would have been close. 4.8, he would have been a top 25. And I think that sounds about right to me. I think, honestly, when I look at George Springer, I think of a top 25 player. I don't think he's quite top 15. I mean, I think you could make some arguments here and there. But for me, I've always looked at Springer as a top 25, top 20. I don't know about top 15. I could see an argument for top 15. But for me, I've always been he's a really, really good player. I don't know if he's top 15 or a top 10 kind of a guy. But he has had really good years in the past too. So he's had the injury bug in his career. So Akina, thank you for becoming a member for 5 months. Really appreciate that. And a super chat. Evaldi has solidified himself as the ace last year. You know, I do love Nathan Evaldi. I really do. I think he's fantastic. I've always looked at Evaldi. I don't know what it is. I can't look at him like an ace. I just can't. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just can't see him as an ace. I see a really, really good number 2. But I feel like he's not quite an ace. I think it's probably because of the health risk with him. Because he's someone where he's had trouble staying on the field in the past. But he did look really good. I don't know. To me, I like Evaldi as a 2, honestly. But he was definitely their best pitcher last year. There's no arguing that. So he was the ace of the Red Sox last year. If I could have a number 1 and he could be the number 2, I'd be okay with that. I feel like I'm talking bad about Nathan Evaldi right now. I'm not trying to say that at all. I just look at him like a 2, you know? I don't see a guy that, I don't know, I'm trying to think what would I compare, like Lester. Like Lester in the World Series in 2013. Evaldi had his really good moments in 2018. But Lester was just like that guy you could just turn to and you could just count on him. You knew, and like Josh Beckett in 2007. You knew when Josh Beckett took the ball, it was game over. You just knew Pedro. It was game over. Nathan Evaldi, he's very good. He's very good. I don't know if he's like that bona fide ace. Because when I think of ace, I'm spoiled and I think of Pedro Martinez. So that's just me. And I think of John Lester. I think of Josh Beckett. I think of Kurt Schilling. I think of those guys. Again, that might not be a popular opinion, but it's because I'm spoiled as a Red Sox fan. I've seen true bona fide front of the line starting rotation guys. So, but Eovaldi, I think, is an extremely good number 2. Let's move on. Let's get to our next one. So yeah, George Springer, I'll sell on that. I don't quite agree. But I definitely think he's a top 25 player, top 20. So could this guy maybe one day be a top 20, top 15, maybe a top 10 player? He was a first-round draft pick. Andrew Vaughn, Southsider 14. He's been a long-time subscriber of the channel, and he makes it onto Hot Takes. Andrew Vaughn, all-star appearance this year. I mean, it was looking like maybe at one point Andrew Vaughn was maybe going to the Oakland A's. And I guess that rumor died down. And Frankie Montas is still an Oakland A. But let's talk about Andrew Vaughn. A couple of home runs so far. He's only played 3 games. I think for Vaughn, he just needs to have that playing time. I know that people are like looking at his numbers last year. This guy was a rookie last year. You know, like, do you know how many players in the past have not had great first seasons? You know, there have been many guys in the past. I mean, let's honestly go to Baseball Reference. Look at Mike Clevenger. Man. Let's go to all-time wins above replacement. I don't know. Who could we... how did A-Rod do in his rookie season? So, how many games did Vaughn play last year? He played in 127. So, A-Rod, in 95, he played in 48 games. I mean, he hit 232, 264 on base, 408 slugging. You know, A-Rod wasn't really amazing when he first came up. You know, it took him a little bit. Now, I'm not saying Andrew Vaughn's Alex Rodriguez, but let's look at another player. Let's look at someone else. I don't know. Who's like a more modern guy? Chipper Jones. Let's see. What did he do? Okay, that's a little different. He was really good. Let's see. Let's do it. Let's look at another guy. How was... When Trout came up for a few games, he wasn't really all quite there yet. How about Frank Thomas? That's another Chicago White Sox. How did Frank Thomas do? Frank Thomas in his rookie season... Actually, he did pretty good in his rookie season. Whatever. I know there's a lot of guys out here that have not fared all that well in their rookie seasons, and they've gone on to have great careers. I'm trying to think. I don't know. How about someone like Carlos Beltran? How did he do in his rookie season? Dang it, Carlos Beltran was really good too. Whatever, in his 14 games, he was okay in 98. Whatever. All right, maybe this isn't the greatest thing, but you know what I mean. There have been guys who, I'm sure there's a lot of these guys on here, but I'm not going to click all the way, click all of them. But Vaughn, there's a lot of potential with him coming out of college. And I think there's a lot of potential with him. Good power. He got off to a really good start. I think he just needs more reps. And you got to remember, too, I know a lot of people might disagree with this, but he did not have a 2020 season. You know, I was actually reading this on Fangraphs the other day, and they made a really good point. They said, they were talking about, who were they? I think they were talking about Jared Kelenic. So, yeah, they're talking about Jared Kelenic here. I really like the point that he made. So let me actually read this to you. So, and Mariners fans, you might actually find some optimism with this. So let me read what he wrote here. Who was the author of this? This was Dan Zimborski. So Jared Kelenic, he thinks he is going to break out this year, and here's what he said. So, why am I optimistic? This isn't something we'll really be able to evaluate until years down the road, but I think players like Kelenic were especially hurt by missing the 2020 season. He was a very young, elite prospect on the verge of making the majors after 2019, but he missed an entire year of games against real minor league competition. I think it's vital for an elite prospect to be challenged constantly, and with a short professional career, Kelenic didn't have a lot of experience to fall back on. The alternate site just was not a substitute. So, I'll be honest with you. I can kind of relate to what he's saying here. I don't know if this is a good analogy. Hear me out, though. I can kind of relate to this as a second grade teacher. I got some kids in my class where I need to challenge them. And if they don't get like they're higher, like they're a little more advanced than some of the other kids in the class. And if I'm not challenging them enough, and if I'm not giving them harder things to work with, you know, harder math problems, you know, harder reading passages, you know, they don't grow. They kind of just stagnate. You know, it's kind of the same thing here where Jarred Kelenic, you know, guys like Andrew Vaughn, they did not have that 2020 season going up against, you know, elite players in the minor leagues, going up against good pitching. I agree with it completely. So that's just me, though. I'm not sure if that analogy is any good, but I've seen it firsthand with, you know, my students. You know, yeah, granted they're 8 years old, but still, if I have 3 kids in my class, they're on a 3rd grade level already in 2nd grade. One is actually already middle 3rd grade. I have to give him harder stuff to do, because if I just give him 2nd grade level stuff, he's not going to advance. He's just going to, I don't know. He's just going to get bored, and he's not challenging himself. So I look at it very similarly with, you know, Kelenic and Andrew Vaughn. If Vaughn just gets the playing time, I think he ends up being really good, and I definitely think he could be an all-star. So, but that's just my opinion. So I'll buy that one. All right, we got a few more here. Well, this guy's been around for a little while. We've been waiting for him to get back on track, to kind of start getting it going, go back to what he did a few years ago, and that's Christian Yelich. Sam Heim. I think I'm saying that right, Sam Heim, because I'm seeing Chaim. That's how we spell Heim with Heim Bloom. Or is it Sam Chaim? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. I'm going to go Sam Heim for Heim Bloom. Yelich is fully back. He's hitting the ball hard, taking his walks. The homers are right around the corner. His bat being back makes the Brewers a top 2 seed in the National League playoffs. So let's pull up Yelich on Baseball Savant. Let's see how he's doing so far. It's very young in the season. We got a long ways to go, but let's see how he's doing so far. We got a lot of Reds here, folks. So far, it's early, but we got a lot of Reds. Exit velocity's looking good. Max exit velocity. Hard hit percentage, he's at the top. It's just a matter of time, man. He's got no home runs, but he's hitting the crap out of the ball. I think Yelich is looking pretty good. And actually, if we go to his 2021 numbers, and I said this to all of you. I really wish I did a bounce back player video, because I've been saying this in the offseason. I think he's going to end up being fine, because the one thing with Christian Yelich is that, and this was something I was telling all of you in the offseason, he still walks a ton. When you still got that eye at the plate, that's a good sign. You know, at least you have that. Now, if you don't have a good eye at the plate and you're chasing a whole lot of stuff, and then you go into a slump with your mechanics or whatever it may be, well, then you're just really screwed, right? But Yelich is someone, he has good plate discipline. He has a good eye of the ball. He has a good idea of the plate. You know, he's got a good idea of the strike zone. So he never lost that ability, as you can see here with his 14.7 walk percentage last year. He was kind of middle of the road when it came to strikeouts. I mean, whatever. I mean, actually, probably a little low when it came to strikeouts, but he's kind of always been that way. You know, right around 20% in his career. He was up a little higher last year, but either way, his max exit velocity last year was really good. He ranked in the top 6% of the league. So that's how you know he was showing signs of still being there. It's just a matter of getting his mechanics cleaned up a little bit. And actually, you know, if you take a look at his expected batting average, last year he hit, what did he hit last year? He hit 248, and his expected average was 254. He had a 392 expected slugging, and his slugging last year was a 373. So his expected slugging was a little better. So I think he's really close. These numbers are all looking really good right now. I think it's just a matter of time. I think he's almost there. So I buy it. Going back to this hot take here. I don't think he's fully back, but I think he's very close. But I think he is going to end up being fine. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being an all-star again this year. So be on the lookout for Christian Yelich. We got 2 more here. This is an interesting one, and I actually didn't want to look into this one prior until I actually shared it with all of you because I find it interesting, and I'm really curious to see what all of you think about this one. The Dodgers. Let's talk about the Dodgers. We're looking at it. You just said Christian Yelich. He's going to lead them to the number 2 seed in the National League. Well, the Dodgers are the favorite for the number 1 seed. But look at this hot take from GC. The Dodgers don't have a better lineup than last year. Very interesting. You know, like there was one at one point this offseason. I wondered to myself, you know, is this lineup really that much better? You know, because you took out Corey Seager. Corey Seager was a phenomenal left-handed bat. But you added Freddie Freeman, and you got Trey Turner. So I would say, honestly, if I were to, you know, kind of say, if I were to look at it right off the bat, I mean, you replace Turner, or you replace Seager with Turner. I don't know. I think it's pretty close. I think this one, I would actually probably say this lineup looks a little better. Again, going back to the hot take if you missed it, the Dodgers don't have a better lineup than last year. So if we actually go to the stats from last year, let's go to the team stats. The Dodgers last year, they had the 6th best offense. So they ended up finishing with a, they finished with a 53 offense, right? So the Dodgers, or actually, no, hold on a second. That's not right. So hold on, 2021. They finished with a 54.7 offense. That ranked 6th overall. So 54.7. As of right now, if we go to, so what was that? Let me write that down. 54.7. And right now, where are they at? They're off to kind of a whatever start right now. And let's actually take a look here. What are they doing? Are they playing tonight? Good to, by the way, I didn't even mention this earlier. Good to see my Red Sox scoring some runs for once. Finally, against an old friend in Eduardo Rodriguez. They had his game plan. They were ready to go. But yeah, the Dodgers, they put up some good runs today. I mean, we were talking about Clayton Kershaw earlier. We didn't really talk about the offense all that much. So, I mean, the offense looked great today. Betts 2 for 5. Freeman 2 for 5. Turner, Muncy, Turner, Bellinger each had some hits. Hey, look at Bellinger starting to get some hits here. So, but yeah, the Dodgers, they're looking pretty good. So, where are they at currently? Have these updated? I don't know if they've updated. They're at a negative 1.6. Now, that's not going to stay. That's not going to stay. Actually, I don't think this has updated. 13 RBIs. And where are they at in the standings? Actually, what was their runs scored? Runs. So they scored 18 runs. I don't know if this has updated yet. Yeah, that hasn't updated yet. So 25 runs. So you can't really judge it on Fangraphs right now. So they have 25 runs right now through 5 games. So they're averaging 5 runs per game. So, I don't know. 5 times 1. They're on pace to score 110 runs which I don't think that's going to end. I think they're going to end up getting more than that. How many runs did they score last year? They scored 830 runs last year. So, and they're on pace for 810. Frank Ryan with a $4.99 super chat. Oh, yeah. Tristan Cassis with another bomb in Worcester tonight. I was at the game yesterday. That's awesome, Frank. Fun fact, I actually used to live right next to Worcester. He hit one 477, one of the hardest hit balls I've ever seen in person. Oh, good for you, Frank. Good for you. I am jealous. I wish I was there. I love seeing just a good old tater tot in person. I remember went to Fenway a couple of years ago and saw JD Martinez hit a home run. It was just an opposite field shot, but oh my God, the exit velocity on it. It was, I don't know what the miles per hour was on it, but that was nuts, man. But yeah, Cassis, I think we end up seeing him, man. I really do. I think he ends up coming up eventually. If we go take a look here, right now, you know, Bobby Dahlbeck, I got to say, he's looking all right. He's looking okay. So, you know, he's got a home run, but then again, maybe not. Actually, I thought he was doing a lot better than this. I don't know why. But if Bobby Dahlbeck doesn't have his stuff together, I mean, why not bring up Cassis at one point? That way, because at the very least, you would have a platoon. You would have a righty and a lefty. So, and then Dahlbeck, I mean, he could go play in the outfield or something. So, wow, the McGann, Vladdy with 3 home runs tonight. Man. Miller Lightyear. Am I Lansdowne or Lorette? I'd have to say Lansdowne. Lansdowne, definitely. So, Jason, man, watching Dice K at AAA, Pawtucket way back. Oh, man. What a sight to see. Could you imagine being at Dice K's first game at Fenway Park when he had Ichiro and everyone? Ugh, man. Dice K, that was so fun, man, in 2007. The whole plane ride coming from California. Everyone was wondering. There was like no really Twitter or anything at that time. Everyone's wondering, man, what the heck's going on? Did we get Dice K? Because remember they said all the plans fell through and it looked like they weren't going to sign him, and then they ended up getting him. But fun times as a Red Sox fan. Many down times, but many good times. So, but back to the original hot take. The Dodgers don't have a better lineup than last year. I honestly think it ends up being the same. I really do. I bet it ends up being around the same. They had 830 runs last year. They're on pace right now for 810. I think they could be around the same, honestly, because you took out Seager. You replaced it basically. You had Turner you basically replaced Seager with Freeman. You know, I think it ends up, if anything, maybe around the same. I don't think it ends up being all that different. But at the end of the day, it's still a very good offense. Still a very good offense. Let's go to our last hot take, and then we're gonna go see what's going on in Major League Baseball tonight. Hey, we're up to 74 people in the chat. Everyone, if you can, before I get to the last hot take of the night, please, if you can, hit that like button for me. We're at 52 likes. If we can somehow, you know, I don't know if we can do it tonight. If we can get to 100 likes, that would be amazing. I don't know. Not sure if we're going to get there or not. But if you can, hit that like button. It's going to get this out there onto the YouTube algorithm. And again, if anyone is new in the chat, think about subscribing. We're actually getting pretty close to 22,000 subscribers. So think about subscribing if you're new. Again, hit that like button. Hit the bell notification. Share the stream. Also, don't forget, we have some partnerships. We have SeatGeek. I got $20 off for you. Use my code Hyde if you want to go to a game. And also, use my code on Prize Picks. Use the code Ginger. They'll give you a 100% deposit match. So, let's go to the last hot take of the night. And I know you're all going to love this one. I know you're all going to love this one because we all love talking the Houston Astros. I'll tell you, the Houston Astros, man, they're looking pretty good once again. I think I'm saying this right. Josu Martinez, or is it Jose? Josu? I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. The Astros go to the World Series again 4 times in the last 6 years. Now, let's take a look here. Look at Vlad Jr., man. Just hitting bombs. His 3rd home run of the night. So, taking a look here. The Astros, their offense has been doing really good so far. The Cleveland, they have scored the most runs out of anyone so far, 38. But, Houston, they're right there, middle of the road. But, again, it's a short season so far. We haven't really seen much, but they're doing all right. 22 runs. But when you take a look at their offense on Fangraphs, they rank 8th overall. Not too bad. If we go take a look at the pitching, overall, both the starting pitching and the bullpen, Houston ranks 4th. And taking a look at the starting pitching, Houston's 4th, and the bullpen is 7th. They're doing everything good. They're hitting, they're pitching, both in the rotation and in the bullpen. And actually, let's take a look here. How many defensive runs saved are they at? They're number 1. I mean, can we, I think we all have a little bit of Astros fatigue, a little bit. I think that's real. I think it's there. But at the end of the day, this team is good. Yeah, they lost Carlos Correa. But, man, they got a good young shortstop in Jeremy Pena, man. He plays good defense. I mean, I still like this Astros team. Miller Lite, what a hot take. Astros should trade for Carlos Correa. That guy's a stud. Could you imagine if they ended up doing it? That'd be crazy. But yeah, I still really like the Astros. And you know why they have a pretty decent shot? They got Verlander back. Remember, in the World Series last year, they were running on some pretty good arms. Luis Garcia, Framber Valdez, and Jose Urquidy. They didn't have a true ace, right? But when they got to the Braves, who had better, in my opinion, better starting pitching, the Astros just didn't have enough. They didn't have that ace guy. But now they got their ace back. The Astros are still going to be really good. And I will not be surprised at all if they are once again back in the American League Championship Series. Would not be surprised. I mean, why be surprised? And I think the only reason a lot of the people, they don't want to pick the Astros is, obviously because of the whole cheating scandal. There's fatigue there. It's kind of like the Patriots. The Patriots were always winning every single year in football. I was spoiled for that, but it's the same thing. They just win. They almost made it to the World Series 2 years ago. They were in the World Series last year. They were in the ALCS back in 2018. They were in the World Series in 2019. They're just there every single year. They have a good team. They got good coaching. They have it's just a good team. And I picked them to lose, I think, in my predictions. I think I picked them to... Where did I have the Astros? Did I have them winning the wild card round? I don't remember. Where did I have the Astros? I can't remember. I don't think I had the Astros going past the first round. I think in the American League Championship, I had the Blue Jays and the Mariners. And in the wild, I think I had the Astros beating, or I think I had the White Sox. No. I can't remember where I had the Astros. Does anyone remember where I had the Astros? That is driving me insane right now. I think I had them losing in the wild card game or in the wild card series. I had the Blue Jays and the Yankees and the Astros and I can't remember this at all, but I don't have the Astros getting very far in the playoffs this year, but I would not be surprised at all if you once again see them back in the World Series. Everyone's looking at the Blue Jays right now. I don't know, but everyone's, I feel like, sleeping on the Astros. They're ranked well in hitting so far. They're ranked well in starting pitching. They're ranked well in bullpen, and they're the best defensive team right now. I'm just saying. They're a very strong team. They don't have a lot of depth, but they got a couple of guys down there that can end up helping out. But, I mean, I can't tell the future by any means. One more time, the Astros go to the World Series again 4 times in the last 6 years. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I can't really buy or sell this one, but I don't know. I think it's going to be very hard because the American League is just so up in the air right now, but they absolutely could do it. I don't see why they couldn't. You know, you got Verlander as your guy. If he's healthy, he's going to be very good for you. The offense is still really good. You got good arms in the bullpen. You got good arms to go with Verlander. I'm just saying, I don't think that's completely out of the question at all. I don't think it's out of the question. So, but let's take a look here. Let's see what's going on in the baseball world. Let's check up on some scores before I get out of here for the night. Let's take a look. But yeah, Vlad Jr. carrying the Blue Jays tonight. Carrying the Blue Jays. 6-3 lead. Brewers up 4-2, hanging on in the 9th. White Sox. This Mariners-White Sox series has been pretty close. White Sox have a lead. Nationals beating the Braves today. The Guardians with another win. Hey, who told you that the Guardians were going to win 91 games this year? This guy. 91 wins for the Guardians this year. If they win 91 games, you know, don't act like I didn't tell you. Cubs losing to the Pirates today, 6-2. Mets beating the Phillies yet again. Red Sox taking out their old friend in Eduardo Rodriguez today. Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw. I agree with Clayton Kershaw being pulled. Again, I'm not going to get into it again. I got into it earlier. You had a shorter spring training. He's had injuries in the last few years. It's April. There's no reason to push it. There's no reason. So, Diamondbacks beating the Astros. Walk-off win today. The Giants win a close one against the Padres. The A's, man. Look at the A's. Look at the A's. You know? The A's taking out the... Did they end up winning last night? Who won that game yesterday? It was... Did the A's end up winning that? Oh, no, Tampa won in the end. Tampa won. So, but look at the A's, man. I mean, who would have thought? You know, I mean, I know it's early. Like, we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves right now. But honestly, I thought the A's would get off to a, you know, 0-10 start. But they're 3-3. They're hanging around. You know, they're right there. Second highest run differential in the West. You know? But the Guardians, off to a good start. They got the best run differential in baseball right now. Yeah, it's a fun start to the season so far. Fun start. Andrew, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? But are you at all worried about the Braves this season? The pitching seems to be really mediocre. Honestly, no, I'm not worried. To me, starting pitching right now, they're still working their way around. You know, it's spring training, or it's basically still spring training for a lot of these guys. You know, they're just in games that mean more. These, like Clayton Kershaw was the perfect example today. He worked up to 80 pitches. That was basically, if you were in spring training, that would have been his last spring training start. So, you know, and everyone's all flipping out over it, thinking, "Oh my God!" It's like that literally would have been his last spring training start today. So, before his first turn of the season. So, and everyone's going crazy about it. So, no, I'm not worried at all. If starting pitching isn't performing very well, then I don't know. I'm not really too worried about it for any team, to be completely honest. So, they're still working their way around. So, What else we got here? What else we got? Let's go check out my Red Sox today, huh? They look pretty good against Eduardo Rodriguez. You know, it didn't dawn on me until the other day that we were going up against Erod. But Evaldi, overall for him today, like, you know, this is what I'm talking about with Evaldi, man. And again, I kind of just said, it's basically still spring training for these guys. But, Evaldi, hey, man, he did fine today. 2 runs, 4 hits, 6 Ks, couple of homers. Cutter Crawford, man, I don't know. Cutter Crawford, he scares the crap out of me. I'm sorry, but he is that guy that scares me. Him and Ryan Brazier, I can't stand those guys. Those guys want to make me vomit every time they're on the mound. I don't care if they end up doing well or not. I get just complete anxiety attacks when those guys take the mound. Austin Davis, I don't know what's up with this Austin Davis guy. They brought him in last year. I don't know. He's just not really showing me a whole lot. And honestly, I really do think the Red Sox, they're going to go with everyone was, crowning Diekman as the closer the other night. I don't think that's the case. I think they're just going to go matchups, basically bullpen by committee. So I don't think he's the closer. I think he will be on some nights, but Robles was the better option today in the 9th. So Eduardo Rodriguez, he didn't do too bad. It looks like he got plagued by some bad defense. Once again, that's the story of Eduardo Rodriguez. For the Tigers, kind of whatever. They scored 7 runs today. Torkelson, a couple RBIs today. Had his first hit yesterday, I believe. Austin Meadows, 2 for 4 today. He's off to a great start with the Tigers this year, hitting .471. Taking a look here. The Red Sox look great, man. Hits all around. Everyone in the lineup but Vasquez got a hit today. 2 for 4 for Hernandez, 1 for 5 for Devers. Devers with an RBI, Kike with 2. Story came back to the lineup today. Went 2 for 5. Dahlbeck 2 for 5. Hey, lineup looked great today. Bullpen is a little iffy to me. I think they're still trying to find their spots, really. I think that's pretty much what it is at this point. So, I think they're just figuring out their roles. Really, that's what it is. I'm glad Barnes pitched well. I'm telling you, Matt Barnes, keep him out of the closer role. He does well when he's not in the closer role. So, but taking a look here. Andrew, can you give your opinions about the Reds team president and his god-awful comments? So here's the thing. I think his comments weren't great. I know what he was trying to say. He just didn't say it in a great way. Like, you're the owner of the team, I think the first thing that he said sounded fine. I think he was saying, hey, have some optimism in these guys, young guys. We got some exciting players here. Because they do have some exciting players. The Reds have some really fun players. It was the thing after it where he started kind of getting defiant a little bit. Where he's like, where do you want us to go? Where do you think we can go? When he started saying that stuff, I was like, I liked what you said at first, but I don't know. You're kind of going off the rails here a little bit. That, to me, I think he is frustrated because he knows people. Here's my thing. I think he knows people care, right? And I really just think the Reds don't have a whole lot of money to play with. I really don't. I really think they just don't. I don't think they got money to just throw around. They really did make some moves. They got rid of some guys, but I liked these guys that they brought in. Definitely cheaper alternatives, but I liked some of the skills that they bring to the table. Some of these cheaper guys that they brought in, guys that can get on base. I like that. I didn't hate the Reds offseason really at all. Yeah, you're losing some pretty good guys. But Suarez, he strikes out a ton. He was inconsistent last year. Winker can't hit lefties. Sonny Gray, he's replaceable. You replaced him basically with Mike Minor. So overall for the comments, he got off to a good start, and then he just kind of went off the rails. And then I'm thinking, whoa, what are you doing here? Like, you're good. No, you should have just stuck with what he said in the beginning. Said, hey, have some faith. Got some exciting players here. We're doing the best we can, the other stuff he said, that's just not, I think I know what he meant, but it's just not going to be well received. So, yeah, Andrew, I agree. I think, some of the things he said didn't really, I don't know. I think he was just getting frustrated. I think he was just, I don't know. Maybe the guy was having a bad day. I have no idea. But should have just stuck with what he said in the beginning. Here we go. Kevin, what's going on, man? Astros offense has been terrible other than Friday night's barrage. Only 3 runs in 2 games. Yeah, they did have a couple of games where they didn't look all that great. Overall, I still like their lineup, though. I do. I'm not worried about their lineup. Yeah, Ethan, man. I don't know what's up with E-Rob with bad defense. So, even as a Braves fan, though, Ozuna is back perfectly fine and playing. Yeah, Ozuna. Yeah. How's he looking? Let me tell you, I haven't looked at his numbers. Hey, he's doing all right. 321. He went 0 for 4 today. But whatever. He's off to a good start overall. So, what else we got here? What else we got here? Yeah, Jason Barnes had a solid inning today. What else we got? Frank Ryan, man. Your boy Cutter was awesome today, man. Here's a story about Cutter Crawford. When I went to Fenway Park last year, I actually saw his debut, and this guy just got pounded, man. And I'm thinking, oh boy, okay, this is basically going to be a minor league depth guy. I don't know. Maybe they see something in him. I'm just not really high on him. So, but all right, everyone. I'm going to call it a night. We went over all the hot takes tonight. Hey, fun stream tonight. I'm noticing, it's April. This happened last April where viewers are a little down at the moment for the live shows. So if you can, hey, be on the lookout. I'm not sure if the notifications just aren't going out for a lot of people. Some people are saying they are getting them. Some people are saying they're not. But be on the lookout. I'm usually going to try and go live Sunday through Thursday night. But, not surprised. Last April, May, views were a little down around then too. So it's the beginning of baseball season. It's not really a juicy time right now in baseball. So, but just be on the lookout. Yeah, actually, Ratchet, I agree. I am going to start bringing in the show. I'm going to break out MLB The Show probably tomorrow night. So be on the lookout for that. I am going to start doing some. Now, the question is do I want to go live with MLB The Show? I think I will sometimes, or do I want to do recorded videos with MLB The Show? I haven't fully decided. I might actually put out a poll for the channel, so be on the lookout for that. I definitely want to start putting some MLB The Show on here. Live might be easier for me just because I work and everything. It's just so much easier for me to go live than it is to kind of set stuff up and edit and whatever. So live is definitely easier for me. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a couple recordings, but I definitely want to do MLB The Show, of course. Orlando, thank you for coming in. Better late than never, my friend. But we are going to get out of here. I do appreciate you guys that came out tonight. Don't forget, we got SeatGeek over here on the side. $20 off your first purchase if you use my code Hyde. Go on Prize Picks. Really, go check it out. I think you'll like it. They'll do a 100% deposit match if you use my code Ginger. But everyone, thank you for coming out tonight. Be on the lookout for next week's hot takes. Be on the lookout for tomorrow night. And have yourself a good night. I'll talk to you next time.